Hi everybody, Golden Era Bookworm here. Today we're going to continue on the topic of Tom Platz, and today specifically look at his arms routine. Now, why is this an important topic? I think it's a very important topic because everybody knows Tom Platz for having amazing quads and calves. But they overshadowed his whole physique and made his upper body look under par. And in particular, when you ask Tom, what body part did you think you could have most improved? He always talks about his arms. And this is why today's video I think is really important, because it focuses on training the weak points in the body. Let's have a look at Tom's recommendations for weak point training. As mentioned, his arms really lacked development when compared to his thighs and to his calves. Now he blames, obviously, one could say in this respect, his genetics are definitely a factor, because the squat, whether he did it or not, he actually mentions in some of his interviews, when he actually started squatting less, his legs kept growing. So he obviously had amazing genetics to squat and for amazing development in his legs. There's no doubt about that. And because he realized this, he had to start specializing in his upper body, specifically for his arms. And so in order to do that, he would dedicate a separate workout day just for his arms. Sometimes he actually trained his arms with his legs because of the increase in growth and testosterone production when you train legs. Actually would also, he would find, increase the strength and muscle growth in his own arms. But by training specifically his arms on a separate day, he could fully concentrate on the muscle being worked and dedicate his total energy. And we all know how intense Tom Platz was in training, so you can imagine how much intensity he applied to his arm training. And he would actually perform his arm workout twice a week and make sure that he really brought it up to the rest of his physique so it could be more balanced. Now, the exercises that Tom Platz used are not uncommon. They are the general exercises that most people would have used in the Golden Era. And of course, these include the standing barbell curl. The seated dumbbell curl was another favorite of Tom. And I would say that this was his most favorite exercise for biceps development. He actually talks about the easy bar curl in one of his books, which is Pro Style Bodybuilding, and how he recommends not using the easy bar curl and instead using dumbbell curls. And you can see that he starts dumbbell curl with his palm facing his thighs, and he fully supinates to the top. Now, the reason that he loved the seated dumbbell curl over, for example, the standing barbell curl, and why he actually recommends not using the easy bar curl, is because he realized the importance of supination. Supination really brought out his biceps in his own experience, and he would perform them standing, seated, or here seated on an incline. Other exercises that he actually used during his competitive years were also the preacher bench curl and the concentration curl, as shown here. Now, for his triceps development, he was a big believer in large motions. He's always been a big weightlifter, so he obviously used the close grip bench press, as shown here. Tricep extensions as well, done with a dumbbell or with a barbell, as shown here. And he was also a fan of dips and press downs on the cable. His pre-contest routine is one that I would like to share here. He actually performed this twice a week on a separate day in this case. He would perform for his biceps alone alternate dumbbell curls using 6 sets of 6 to 8 reps. Now he would warm up to a high weight and only perform 6 reps, and then start decreasing the weight so he could increase the reps up to 8. But notice he didn't use a very high rep range here, because he had to force his biceps to grow. And the best way to do this, of course, is to use very heavy weight, very similar to what Larry Scott preached. Now, on top of this, for his triceps, because the triceps are a larger muscle, he would do more exercises. So he chose 2 exercises, as mentioned before, the close grip bench press for 6 sets of 6 to 8 reps, and the 1-arm dumbbell tricep extension, 4 sets by 10 reps. Now notice that it's not a very huge program, but by fully using absolute intensity as Tom Platz would do, you can see the results that he had. Here's a great shot of Tom Platz on a single bicep, with a single bicep pose, and I mean, you can see the peak that he developed. He did do very well, and we will see more photos of Tom Platz now, especially in the 1981 Olympia, where he actually in interviews has stated that he thought, of course, that he was as equally good or better than Franco. And if we alone look at his arms, I see his point. He actually had very good arms comparable to Franco. Let's have a look. Here's a shot, a side tricep shot, where we can see Tom Platz, Franco Colombo, and of course Danny the Giant Killer Padilla. Now if we look at Tom Platz, I mean, he looks amazing. I mean, no doubt that Franco had that freaky split in his chest, but let's just have a look purely at his triceps development, just the triceps. We can see that Franco's arms are fairly huge, but I mean, Tom Platz, having this as a lagging body part, he did very well in bringing this body part right up there. Of course, with his development of his lower legs, I definitely also think he should have placed higher than Franco. We all know the story there. And Padilla, well, Jesus Christ, he was just so freaky. Now let's have a look at another shot of Tom Platz comparing against Franco. Here is a back shot, double biceps back shot with Franco versus Tom Platz, and Padilla doing a 3/4 back turn shot. Again, I thought he was also as good or better than Franco. It's a tough call from the back. If you look at the peaks of Tom Platz, well, they're just as peaky, and I would say his biceps are even more full than Franco's, right? His back may not have the bat-like spread that Franco had, but it was definitely detailed. You know, it's always a tough call, but of course, the lower legs, there was absolutely no comparison there, was there? But my point is that through this routine and specialization on weak point training, one can clearly see that Tom Platz, you know, he basically matched Franco in the arms. There's no doubt about that. He brought those body parts up. And so I think this basic routine on that really specializes on this weak point can be applied. I think it's a very good point that Tom makes in his books, and that's why I thought I'd share this particular information with you today. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't to the Golden Era Bookworm for more information like this. My Patreon account contains routines of the champions, photos, and scanned articles, as well as for some actual rare books that I've actually scanned in as well. So for the ones that have already joined, I know you're enjoying the content, and thank you for supporting me. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Leave me your comments. This is the Golden Era Bookworm. Bye for now.